So hey guys, this is Rajsuthan. Welcome back to yet another video. And this today video we're going to be building a tally counter in pure JavaScript, pure vanilla JavaScript. So this is sort of a very simple application that you can actually go through this video. It's because it's very the basis of JavaScript, some DOM manipulation and working with functions and so. So it cannot be a very good application. For if you are intermediate guys or intermediate programmers, then this wouldn't be suitable for y'all. But this is just purely for beginners. So this is a simple application idea that I got recently. Then it's very small, just 20 to 25 lines of code of JavaScript, and you're able to achieve this sort of an application design. Alright, so obviously the theme I'm using is Bootstrap Css. So we basically have a heading called tally counter, and we have a basic area where the counting actually takes place. So you have two buttons. If you click on add, the numbers will be getting added, so you can add as much as you want, and then you can minus it as much as you want. So the thing you can know is after 0 it wouldn't go -1 to -2. So we also have some if condition working in the background. Now if you want to reset it, so you can go as much as you want and click on reset, and this will reset and give you a alert saying reset is actually successful. So you can click OK, and that's done. So that's basically it. Now also this area we have a small little section where it says what is the tally counter and what the instructions on how to actually use the tally counter. So I just have some information on add, minus, reset, because that's what we have. But you're free to expand this program. I have the link for the code in the description. You can expand this code as much as you want, try different stuff, and use it to the full of potential. You can have local storage in it. So if you don't know about local storage, I have a JavaScript video that I did recently, so you can check that out. But anyway, let's get started. All right, I want to get my VS Code open. So basically, as I said to you, I have all the files right there, and I also everything is empty. Even the app.js index is empty. But the Bootstrap is min.css, obviously it's not empty. It's because I've downloaded this from the Bootstrap website. So this is, if you don't know Bootstrap, if you're completely beginner, so Bootstrap is something that really helps, gives you some design style. So you can just link it to your work, and you'll be able to get these kind of very nice good styles just by adding a class. So I'll leave anyway this in the Bootstrap link in the description. So anyway, it's easy for you all to get started. So first of all, obviously it's index or HTML. We want to generate a basic boilerplate, and we want to call the heading called tally counter. All right, and once that's done, we also should be able to link style sheet. So I want to get the link, and I'm going to say style.css, not style.css, it's actually bootstrap.min.css. You can have your custom stylings, but yeah, it's preferable. All right guys, so now what we want to do is, now we want to basically build this up. So as I said, we're going to use Bootstrap classes, so which helps us to have a good design. So alright guys, in the body, what I want to do first of all itself, I just want to give it a class for the whole body itself called Jumbotron. Okay, so you can have a container and give it. I'm just going to give it to the whole body. It's just mine. So I'll show you guys the time frame where you can actually skip to the JavaScript part rather than going to the HTML part if you wish to. It's right there. Okay, and now what I want to do, I want to get the H1. So what I'm going to do inside this, I want to name this tally counter. Okay, tally counter in this as well. And then first of all, let's just open this up in the live server. Come on, just save it up and open this up in the live server. If you don't want to download the live server, you can go to the extension and search it up. It's pretty popular. Alright, we have tally counter right there. So now what I want to do, I want to add some class to it, and this class I want to say I want to have this text center. That's the class I want for this, and I want to have the margin top to be maybe 1 or something. Yeah, it's pretty okay. Having 1 is also fine, or maybe I don't even need the margin top because it's completely there, because we're having a whole class of body in Jumbotron. So yes, that's done. And now what we want to do, we want to have a completely new div, and in new div, this is just for the buttons right here. From starting from the 0 to admin reset, we're going to have a completely different div. So in this div, I'm just going to give a class of buttons. All right, and inside this button, inside this button, I'm gonna have a button with the type of button. So I can just do it. I can use Emmet plugin, obviously, which is inbuilt. So I can say it has a type of button. No, it's not a type. Okay, Yep, so I want to say button, and I want to give this some class. So I'm gonna say btn, which is a bootstrap class. I want to say btn, and again in a class, another class of bootstrap, obviously btn primary, to get the um, blue color button, and I want to give it a margin of 3, and then I also want to have a custom styling called add, in order for us to actually fetch these up in JavaScript. Okay, so I want to just give it 3. All right, now if I click enter, then I have a class button primary, and I have a class. Okay, I'm just put it right there. Okay, and I also need some class for this called add, because this is going to be the add button. Okay, so I'm going to say add right there. Okay, sorry, add, sorry, I'm very sorry about that, some keyboard problem. Okay, now we have that. So now what we want to do, we want to get, we can just copy the same thing, paste it up 3 times, and this one is actually going to be minus. So I'm going to say minus, and I want to say minus is actually going to be red color. So for that I can say it has the class of danger, so it's going to be red, and this one is going to be reset, and yeah, I want to change a bit of reset. All right guys, so that's just for that. So we want to basically want this reset to come down, so I'm just going to have a break tag there. So it's pretty easy, it's going to come there. And now just to make sure everything is going to be on not in centered, you can give a text center for the whole class itself. So if I save it up, everything is centered, and yep, that's just that for that, I think. Yes, and that's just for the reset button thing. Okay, now reset also, we can actually add a margin x of margin top of 4. So margin x is actually like, you know, this one, like right and left, and margin y is top and bottom. Okay, if you don't know that. Okay, so it's going to be margin x of 3, and then we all margin top of 4, and then we also want to change this up. So what this is actually, this is a button, but this is going to have a color of green, so it's going to be success. And also I want this button to be a large button, so I can just simply say LG button LG, so it's going to be a pretty large one, and I'm going to say btn slash block. So it's going to cover the whole space like that. Okay, so that's what this is going to do. And bunch of 40, I should be pretty responsive. I don't know what's the error there. Yeah, it is, because we have covered that. All right, so yes, so that's also done, and we have all the stuff going. So now we also want to add the counter, just also the counter. So we'll actually do it. So what I want to do is to go up. I'm going to add it after the heading itself. I don't know why I missed it in this. So yes, let's actually add this one. Obviously this is also going to be a completely new div, and this is going to say, I want to say it counter, and this is going to be, I'm going to call this a counter div, because this is the div which is going to count, you know, whatever is inside. So what I want to say, this is very simple. I'm just going to have a div with that, and also again another div, or you can have anything. So I'm just going to have a div for this itself. I'm going to say 0, and you can see right there. And for this I'm going to give some class. Okay, and these are obviously our bootstrap class. So this is a custom class called counter for me to fetch it in JavaScript. Yeah, before that we just add the bootstrap class. So I'm going to say this is going to be a badge, and it's going to be a badge type of pill. All right, and then it's going to be a badge dark for it to have a dark background, and I'm going to have a margin top of 3. Okay, and if I save this up, it looks like this. So yes, it's not looking as we saw right there. Yeah, we're gonna do some custom styling, but before that we want to center it, right? So I want to say text center, and it's going to be center right there. And now I want to have some custom styling. So what you want to do, you want to come, obviously, above the head, just create a style. Okay, so we want to create, style, and then inside the style I'm going to get the counter, which I gave right there. I hope I have no, so I can add a custom styling called counter. Okay, so I have a counter there, so dot counter, and inside this I'm gonna have some basic basic properties. So for this I'm gonna change the font size. So the font size is gonna be 25 pixels. It's gonna be a bit huge right there, and also I'm gonna change bit of the border radius, and border radius is gonna be 10%. All right. If I save it like that, yes, it looks pretty cool. And now what I want to do is to just add some gaps. So before even adding some gap, you don't need to add gaps here. You can add to the add then minus div itself. So I'm going to go for the button section, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to give a margin top of 4. So it's going to come down and it's just going to look all basic and looks pretty nice. Okay, so that's just it for that. And now okay, so it's add and minus, so I'm just want to call it my MIN because both has 3. It is a good sort of a typography. Alright guys, so that's just for the basics of that. And now we're gonna have for the instruction, and primarily you don't need this instruction because that's not the main goal of this program, but hey, it's really not bad to add some stuff because it sort of looks nice. So that's what. Alright guys, so for this we're gonna have a div with a class of instructions, so which I am gonna basically use this to actually get this in maybe no, I actually don't use it. Maybe for custom styling I might use it, but for now we just have like that. So I'm going to say jumbotron. Even this is jumbotron, but the actual thing is I want this whole div to have a dark background as we saw before. So I want to say background is dark, and all the text whatever inside I want to have it white because the background is dark. And also the margin of y-axis we're going to have it 3, so basically right and left, sorry, which is the top and bottom. Okay, so it's gonna be 3, and I'll save it up, and then we can see something popping up. All right, and now we're gonna have some stuff inside this div. And first of all, I'm gonna have a paragraph, and in this paragraph I want to say tally counter. Let me just copy the text whatever I have here. Just copy this. Okay, so this is gonna be coming inside the paragraph. Okay, now if I show this to you, it doesn't look good because obviously I didn't have any classes. So I'm going to have a class, and so you want to have a class of lead to give it a sort of a off-white text color and also a text center. Okay, now if you see that, there we go, we have that beautiful text going on. And now after the paragraph tag, what I want is that I want also a paragraph, and I'm going to call this instructions. Okay, I'm going to call this instructions, and it's going to look like this. And also I just need a very small little HR. You cannot see that HR, a bit of a line. That I wanted to make it white, but it's fine, we can have it in the same color itself. So when I have HR, and obviously you want to give a class to it, and you just can simply say margin top 2. So if you see that right there, you can see it's not getting hyped with connected to the instructions, so margin top 2. So that's that. And now what we could do is I want to have a li, and inside the li I want to have some classes, so I can just use CMake plugin, and what the class that I want for the li is obviously to have some section, to have some spacing, so I can just say m2. That's the only thing we need for the li. So I want to say use the let me just go and see what I have there. So it's going to say use the add button to increase the counter value. So you can say use the add. I also can say button over there, add this one right there. But then the thing is, how I got badges, you want to use a span, and then inside the span you want to add some classes and have it. So basically we'll do it. So, okay, so I want to have a span over there, and inside the span I want to have a text of add. Now if you go there and see, basically it's just gonna look same, but if I add some classes to this span over here, so in this case I'm just gonna say badge, and I'm just gonna say badge, and this is a badge of, I think, pill, no, it's primary. Okay, it's box type, so I'm going to say primary and make margin of 1. As you guys can see, we get this effects only that text, but that just one text is just going to have a blue color background. It's going to just basically look like a button over here. Okay, so I just thought it looks nice. So then what we want to do, we can just put the rest of the text. So I can copy this from here, button to increase counter value, and I can copy this here and paste it right there. And if you save it, there we go, we have it. So that's just one li. Now you can do this for all of the li's. So the same thing, you want to copy that, paste it up, and the same thing, use the and this one is going to be danger. It's because it's a red color, which is a minus, and I want to say min, okay, minus button to actually decrease the counter value. Okay, I want to decrease the counter value. All right, so that's just that for that. And for the and for this li, what we could do is we can actually change the mx here, which is just the same. We want to change this to success because it's green. Sorry. All right, so that's also green, and I want to change into reset, and then I want to change the whole text. So I'm just going to copy this right there, copy this, and come on. All right, just paste it up and save it, and that's all for that. And it's okay. Now the HTML and CSS is pretty much done. That's just all. It's very simple. If you were to do the custom stylings in CSS, it should have taken you a long time. It's because, you know, there's so many code out there. You want to do it in CSS, but Bootstrap is pretty easy, pretty cool. There's also something called Bootstrap, if you don't know, which also have some stylings like Bootstrap. It is connected. It is Bootstrap, but a bit differentiated. So I'll leave a link. It's worth checking out. Alright guys, so it's just looking the same, and now what we could do is to just to customize this. We have customized everything. Now we want to move to the JavaScript section, which is gonna basically add functionality to it. Okay, so I'm gonna go to the app.js, but before that I want to connect my app.js. So this is normally a mistake commonly I make all the time when I create a project. Even for this one I did, I was searching why the JS isn't working, but at last I saw it wasn't connected. So make sure you connect your JS files. So app.js, so I've connected it. Let me just check whether it's working. So I just put alert1, and yeah, it's connected. Nice to go. Alright guys, I'm gonna have a so first of all, what I'm gonna have in the JavaScript folder is I want to break it in the first place. First of all, I want to grab the DOM element. So the DOM elements is I want to be able to get the counter. I want to be able to get the button, whatever when we add, we want to add this to here, and we click on minus, we want to be able to minus that. So everything is evolving in the function. So when I click reset, there should be a message popping out, and it should have been resetted. So first of all, we have to grab our DOM elements. Okay, whatever we want to be able to link our index.html, whether that be the button or anything, so JavaScript. So we want to, sorry guys, we want to create a variable. So I'm going to say let add is extra. First of all, I'm going to get the add button. So I'm going to say add document dot query selector, and I give it a class of add. All right, and also I'm going to copy and paste it for I want to pass. But before that, I want to just check whether I actually added. Okay, so I have it for add, and for minus it's actually minus. I'm sorry, I want to go for HTML and change this up. Okay, so and then what else should I change? I want to also change the reset, so I want to change it like that. So that's just it for that. I think we can actually move for the JavaScript. All right, let me just go for that at the classes. Okay, and also for this I want to have as minus, I want to say equals to minus, and I want to say document dot query selector, and I want to say dot minus. Okay, which I gave it a class of minus. Okay, and again for reset I want to do the same thing, which is reset is equals to document dot query select, sorry guys, query selector, and I want to add it a class of reset. All right, so that's just it for that. And also we want to be also able to get whatever inside this counter, so then we be able to change it and show it in the HTML. Also guys, you also want to be able to link your counter. So I'm going to say let equals to counter. I'm going to get the document dot query selector, and I believe I give it a class of reset right now. Yes, it's reset. So I'm going to dot count. Okay, so I'm gonna go right back and check, because I just make sure I gave the same class. It's counter, yes. Okay, so we want to be able to grab whatever inside this, but let's do it soon. So basically I just want you guys to actually get the logic for this. First of all, we have something called add, we have minus, we got reset. So we grab everything, so everything here is basically linked. So what we want to do, when someone clicks on the add, we want particular stuff to happen. For example, once someone clicks to add, we want to be able to increment this by 1. when anyone clicks add, it's going to be 1 2 3 4 5. So that's just the objective of add button. And the button of minus is basically just minus it, minus the value. If it's 5, just minus it until it's 0. But basically I'll show you it actually goes to minus, but you can prevent that as well using an if statement. Okay, that's just a function of a minus. And then the reset button, it's very simple. You just clear whatever is presented inside this and replace this with 0. That's just it. So that's what that, if you just understand what basically it is, it's very easy for you to build these sort of very simple apps. And not just this, any apps, any working projects that you want to. All right. So actually guys, let's create it. So I want to be creating, I just want to first of all I'll just create the events for now. Now if anyone clicks on add, I want to say add dot event listener. So you want to listen for a click. Okay, so okay, click. And now, and if anyone clicks on this add button, if anyone clicks on this add button, what we want to do, wait a minute. Oh, that's okay. Now it's a class, or else I should have given an error. Okay, I just saw it right now. Okay, so yeah, coming for the function. Now if anyone clicks on the add, if anyone clicks on the add only, so we want to be able to run a function. So in that function, I'm just going to call it add counter. Okay, I'm just going to say add counter. If anyone clicks on this add, we want to be able to toggle the function called add counter. So add counter is a function that would do some stuff okay, that we just don't need. And also same thing for minus. Okay, minus. This also would have, you want to listen for an event, and if anyone clicks on this, we should have been able to run a function. So we can call it minus counter. Okay, so this is called minus counter. All right. So if anyone clicks on add, it's going to toggle a function called add counter. If anyone clicks on minus, they're going to toggle a counter called minus counter. Same thing for reset as well. If anyone clicks on reset, we should be able to toggle a function called reset counter. All right. So yeah, that's just it. And now everything is actually done. Now we're gonna be implementing the functions. So we actually made everything. We got it from the DOM, and we're listening for the events. So once I click on add, that should be this counter has to add. That's just a simple goal of it. So I can get you the developer tools. You can see some error because we actually didn't define these functions still. So when I click on add, you see I don't get anything. There we go. We have script add counter is not defined. There we go. So it's just saying that add counter is not defined, so we want to define it right now. Alright guys, so now we actually done that. All of us is actually connected. Now we should be able to create the functions. So first of all, I'm going to create the function add function. So I'm going to create function. I'm going to say add counter, and that's going to be the function, and they should be able to run some stuff. So first of all, let's check whether it's actually working. So we'll say console.log, and we'll say hey, it's working, something, hey, it's work, whatever. Okay, when I click add, there we go, we get the message, hey, it's working. So basically it is working. Basically the function itself is connected. Okay, so now what I want to do, I want to get whatever inside this, and I basically want to this console.log for now. Okay, so let me just do it. So I want to say, I want to create a new variable called counter_num. I want to equal this to whatever is inside the inner HTML. Okay, that's what I want. And then what I want, and also I want to say whatever inside this 0, this 0 is actually not a number. This is actually a string. I can show you guys. You can see console log, and I'm just gonna log counter_num. Okay. Now if I just click add, it's just gonna be 0. It's just gonna console log whatever inside this. But if I just add this with 1, you might think it's gonna be 2, but no, it's just gonna be 0 and 1. It's because he's seeing that as a string. Now you can actually add this with a name as well, like something like that. And if I click add, it's gonna give 0 plus HHGHV, some sort of an English. So that's what it's doing. So it's not still a number. So in order to convert this or pass this into a number, we have a built-in function called parseInt. So if I just say console.log, I'm going to say pass int. Float is actually for decimal values. This is just going to give a static number, just no decimal values, just a whole number. Okay, and now what I want to say, I just want to pass the counter num inside. This is just a example. So if I pass, once I click add, there we go, it's going to give same 0. But now if I add this one, plus with 10, it should be 11. Sorry, it should be still 10. So if I add, there we go, we still get 10, because whatever inside is actually 0. So there we go, it's not giving us 0 1 0. Before it would have been given us that value, but now it's actually giving 0. 0 plus 10 is 0. So yeah, that's what it's giving. So that's an example I showed you guys. So this is how you translate or basically turn a string into a number. So even if you go right there, we'll just say there we go, converts the string to an integer. Alright, so we don't need to console this log, we just want to be able to change whatever inside. So I want to get the counter, and I want to get the inner HTML, whatever is now inside this counter. And what I should be able to do is, first of all, I want to get the counter num, whatever inside this. So basically what is inside the counter.html is 0, and now it should be dot. All right, so now what I want to do, I have this counter, so I get this counter again. I want to get the counter in HTML, and that is going to be equal to the counter number, which is 0, and then I just want to be able to add this to 1. But now in this case it wouldn't work because it's a string. So then we can wrap this up into a function, and I'm going to call this function, this is a built-in function, so we're going to wrap it into a function called parseInt. Now if you click add, there we go, it's getting added. So yeah, that's just simply it for the add function, right? Basically it's just gonna get whatever it's gonna pass whatever information number you have string inside this tally counter, which is default, which is 0, and it's gonna replace whatever inside that plus 1. So 0 plus 1 is 1, then you can go 0 plus 1 plus 1 is 2, and something like that. So you can just, so now it's 32. So it's gonna, once I click that, it's gonna grab 32, and it's gonna pass that 32, and it's gonna add with 1. So now once I click add, it's gonna be added by 1, which is 33. So that's just a simple logic that you can basically get from that. So it's pretty easy, and if you can just do one thing, you basically can repeat that for the whole function. So now we have another function called minus. So I'm just going to copy that, and I call minus counter, and this is just simple. You just want to simply change this to minus, and there we go. When you just add, and it's just wait a minute, what's the error there? You should be able to minus whatever inside this. Oops. Minus counter. So we get the counter.html, and minus. So if I click minus, you'll be able to minus it. What's the error there? Okay, so basically the error is I have named it minus, but then I gave it a class. I think I also gave it a class of minus. No, yeah, but then I've actually called it min. It should have been minus. Okay, let me just put it right there. Okay, now if I click minus, it's just gonna go minus from obviously from 0. When it's just minus 1, it's going to be minus 1, minus 2, minus 3. So we just don't want that to happen. Obviously when you add and then you can minus, so it's going to be minusing, and after a point it's just going to turn into a minus number after 0. So what I want, after getting whatever information inside this tally counter, I want to have an if condition. Okay, and it's basically this if condition is gonna check whether the counter num, whatever we get, is actually equals to 0. So if it's actually equals to 0, we can just stop the function. We don't want to run this minus function, and we just say JavaScript just to exit that. So I want to just return a false. And now if you check this, if you click on minus, this is not going to have some minus values. It's because it's going to return because counter num is actually equals to 0, and it's going to return false and stop the whole function. So you can add, then you can actually minus, but until 0, after 0 you can't do it. So that's just it for that. So now at last we have a function called reset counter, and this function is basically gonna change get whatever is actually inside the code, inside the tally counter, and just change it change it to 0. It doesn't even fetch whatever is inside, just give it a 0. That's all we want. So I want to say counter dot inner HTML, whatever is inside the counter, I want to change this to be 0 when someone clicks when someone clicks on the reset. And also yeah, for now we just want to see that. And when I click add, it's getting added. We can minus, and when I click reset, it's actually done. So that's also done. Also we need an alert, and this alert we have to just say that's your preference, guys. So I'm just gonna say successfully, okay, reset successful, something like that. Okay, reset successful, that's all. And now if you click reset, it's gonna give you an alert saying reset is successful. So yeah, okay guys, right now that's all I think for in terms of the code. I think that's it. And you are able to add the numbers, you're able to minus it, and you're also able to reset it. So that's just it for the video, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoy. Now I want to say this is just a very basic mild tutorial. What you could do, you can basically you basically have the idea on how to do it. So you can expand this program adding local storage, as I said before. You can add so many stuff, not just local storage. You can store it in a CSV file, and you can do so many stuff. There's so many information that you can get. So that's just it for the video, guys. As I said, if you want to watch more tutorials, I have the link in the description for the playlist of JavaScript tutorials. It's been, I think, from this video it's like 10 tutorials or something. All are project, all are good ones, all are good. As I said, very very informative and all. So if you have any doubts or questions, just email me, just comment down below. I'll get back to you within 24 hours. So that's just it, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you soon.